moving on to question number 34. The photomicrograph shows two blood vessels P and Q. Both these blood vessels are part of a network which transports blood around the body. Which row is correct for blood vessel P and blood vessel Q? So first of all, let's have a look at the blood vessels. Blood vessel P seems to be a vein because the veins have the thin wall, and blood vessel Q looks like an artery because arteries have the thick wall. So blood vessel P carries blood into the arterioles. No, veins don't carry blood into the arterioles, so that one is wrong. Blood vessel carries blood into the arteries, so that's also wrong. It carries blood from the venules. Yeah, veins actually take blood from the venules, so this is correct. Carries blood, now blood vessel Q, it carries blood into the arterioles. Yes, arteries supply blood to the arterioles. This is also correct. So option C is the correct answer. Now moving to question number 35. The diagram shows a blood capillary and tissue fluid which surrounds it. Now we see this is capillary, this is tissue fluid on the two sides. So if this is a capillary, for example, we have tissue fluid on this side and we have tissue fluid on this side. Tissue fluid is formed when fluid and solutes from blood plasma pass through tiny gaps in the capillary wall. Most tissue fluid is then returned to the blood in the capillary. Which pressures will be needed at the points W, X, Y, and Z so that this system can function? So first of all, we see that the fluid is lost at the arteriole end. So at the arteriole end, Z, the pressure in the capillary, should be greater than the pressure tissue fluid. Then the fluid returns to the capillary over here. That means X should be greater than Y, because when the pressure in the tissue fluid is more than the capillary, then only it will move into the capillary. So Z should be greater than W and X should be greater than Y. Let's look at the option A. 18 is W here and Z is 26. So Z is greater than W. Then X should be greater than Y. X is 26 here, Y is 36 here. So that means this option is not correct. Option B. W is 26 and Z is 36. So yes, Z is greater than W. Again, X is 26 and Y is 18. So this seems to be the correct one. Now let's look at the other options. W is 26, Z is 18. So this is wrong because Z should be greater than W. W is 36 and Z is 26. Again, this is wrong. So option B is the correct answer. Moving to question number 36. What happens during ventricular systole in a mammalian heart? When the ventricles contract, we know aortic pressure increases. That's correct because the blood will be pushed into the aorta when the semilunar valve is open, and also blood will be pushed into the pulmonary artery. The semilunar valve is open in both of them. Atrioventricular valve is open. No, that time the atrioventricular valve is closed to prevent the backflow of blood into the atria. Semilunar valve is closed, semilunar valve is open to allow the blood to move into the aorta and to allow the blood to move into the pulmonary artery. Ventricular pressure decreases, ventricular pressure increases when the systole takes place, ventricular systole takes place. So A is the correct option. Question number 37. The photomicrograph shows a part of the human gas exchange system with one tissue labeled P. Which row is correct? This is the part of the gas exchange system. It cannot be bronchus because bronchus has some cartilages, so this is also wrong. It can be a bronchiole because bronchiole does not contain cartilage. Now the function of the P is the one which helps the movement of the air. It regulates the amount of the air reaching the lungs. So that means the option C is the correct answer. Question number 38. How many times must a molecule of oxygen pass through a cell surface membrane as it diffuses from the airspace into an alveolus? Through a cell in the capillary wall to bind to a molecule of hemoglobin. So let's first of all see if this is a alveoli. So alveoli has the cells, single layer of cells over here. This is a capillary surrounding it. The capillary has a single layer of cells over here. And then the blood, it must bind to a molecule of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is another cell here, the red blood cell. So it has like a cell surface membrane. So if the oxygen molecule passes from here, so it has to pass through this first of one membrane, then 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it has to pass through the 5 membranes in order to reach the hemoglobin in the red blood cell. Question number 39. A student wrote 4 statements about cholera. This statement is not correct. In the examination, we must see it carefully when they say which statement is not correct. Usually we go with the which statement is correct and we can we make the mistakes. It can be controlled by vaccination. Obviously, cholera is controlled by vaccine. This is the correct statement. It's caused by the bacteria. It's caused by the bacteria Vibrio cholerae. This is also which is spread by ingestion, which is taken enters the body through ingestion. HIV/AIDS increase the risk of infection, obviously, because HIV decreases the immune system. It may be transmitted by animal vectors. No animal vectors are involved in the transmission of the cholera bacteria. Now the last question, question number 40. Monoclonal antibodies are produced using the hybridoma method. What are removed from the spleen of a mouse to produce the monoclonal antibodies? So if we introduce an antigen into the spleen, into a mouse, the mouse will recognize it as the foreign body, produce antibodies in it, and produce the lymphocytes. The lymphocytes get activated, and these lymphocytes, the particular clone of lymphocytes will be activated. We collect them from the spleen of the mouse, and then these lymphocytes are fused with the cancer cell to produce the hybridoma cell. The cancer cell will allow it to multiply again and again. So we don't collect antigens from the spleen, we don't collect clones from the spleen, we collect the lymphocytes, and we don't collect myeloma cells. So lymphocyte C is the correct answer. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope we will come up with another video before your exam is there. Thank you very much. Bye.